Good morning. Good morning, folks. Good morning. Welcome to one of the most impressive days in North Carolina's history. My name is Greta Lint, Communications Officer with North Carolina Department of Transportation. I want to thank you very much for coming out this frigid, chilly morning. I understand it's snowing in Hickory, and maybe we'll get a flake or two over this way. But in the meantime, we have a huge announcement to make, and at this point, I would like to turn the podium over to our Division Director Engineer, Mr. Pat Ivey.
Good morning. Thank you all for joining us here today. My name is Pat Ivey. I'm the local division engineer for the North Carolina Department of Transportation here in Division 9. This is an exciting day for NCDOT and the city of Winston-Salem, and we've invited you here today because we do have a special announcement to make concerning the Business 40 Improvement Project. As most of you all know, back in 2009, the community asked DOT to move forward with a 2-year full closure of this 1-mile stretch of Business 40 here in downtown and reconstruct the freeway, rather than work on the project for at least 6 years under partial lane closures. Now, since the road was closed back in November of 2018, our contractor has been building 7 of the 9 vehicular bridges on the project. Now, the Peters Creek, Parkway, and 4th Street bridges behind me were both completed before the closure, and the Church, Main, Liberty, and Broad Street bridges were completed and opened earlier this year. As we announced yesterday, Cherry Street, Marshall Street, and Brookstown Avenue will all be back open to traffic later today. Yes. This in itself is exciting news and a major milestone for the Business 40 project. However, that is not the only good news we have for you today. It is my great pleasure to announce to you that this weekend we plan to open the new Salem Parkway nearly 6 months ahead of schedule. As of right now, we anticipate Salem Parkway will open to traffic early Sunday morning, but as we always tell you, the final touches are weather dependent, and any rain could delay the opening briefly. Now, this project has required an amazing amount of patience and cooperation from downtown businesses and residents, and hard work from the NCDOT staff and our contractors, Flatiron Constructors and Blythe Development Company. Let's give them a round of applause. I've said many times that the success of this project was due to our close partnership with many in this community, and we sincerely thank you for that. We are beyond excited to deliver this safe, modern freeway that comes complete with many aesthetic enhancements that will help showcase Winston-Salem as the city of arts and innovation. Now, even though the road will open soon, we must point out that there are still several more months of work left to complete the overall project, and some nighttime lane closures will still be necessary during this time. Also, I want to remind everyone that this is a very different road that people will see from what they saw before the closure, so drivers and pedestrians alike need to be aware of all the changes. For example, we no longer have interchange ramps at Broad Street and at Liberty Street, so just be aware of the different changes. After everything is finished later this spring, NCDOT and the city plan to hold an official ribbon-cutting ceremony to celebrate the completion of this project. Now, at this time, it's my pleasure to welcome Winston-Salem Mayor Alan Joines to the podium. Mayor.
Thank you. Thank you. Good morning, everybody. You've heard me say many times you have your good days and bad days of being a mayor, and the good days and bad days of being a city councilman. Councilmember Adams, Councilmember Larson, Councilmember McIntosh, and Councilmember Scipio. Today is a great day to be the mayor of Winston-Salem. So we are just delighted to be here as we announce the reopening of Salem Parkway tomorrow night. Sunday night. I get a little early, Pat, but it's Sunday night. I got a call this morning from Governor Cooper. He asked me, I said he'd love to be here today because of this extraordinary special project, but he sends his best and the best to DOT. Pat, on behalf of the citizens of Winston-Salem, I want to thank you, Larry Shaver, and other members of your team, as well as Flatiron Construction, for the amazing job in reopening this, getting this project done so quickly. We want to thank our citizens for their patience during this period of time. It's been, 15 months basically since the closure. And I want to thank our citizens for heeding our advice to plan some alternative travel routes during this time. And it's been somewhat difficult, but for the most part, it's worked very, very well. I want to say to our citizens, as the street and roadway is reopening, don't forget our downtown businesses. It's going to be great to be able to get to those, particularly south of Salem Parkway. Pat, I believe, you tell me, but this project's going to be a textbook example of how to do a very difficult project in an urban setting. So I imagine traffic engineers in years to come down to NC State and other places will be studying this project and how to make things happen. So on behalf of our citizens, I can't say how more delighted I am than to be a part of this today as we reopen Salem Parkway on Sunday night. Thank you very much.
Now at this time, I'll ask C.J. Johnson with the Winston-Salem Dash to come up and talk about a little event that they've got planned for tomorrow morning. C.J.?
This has been an incredible project to watch, and a thank you to NCDOT, to Flatiron, to Blythe for all the communication, professionalism throughout the project that helped make our lives easier. Now, we do what we do at the ballpark, and one of the best things we do is have fun events. And so we get to have a very special fun event tomorrow from noon till 2. We will have Dash the Salem Parkway, so you can come out from 1 to 2 with that party. You'll be able to walk on this roadway. So before it opens to traffic, everybody from our community will be able to come out, have a special event, a lot of great food and beverage, and enjoy a walk on that road that they've done so much hard work on. So we look forward to seeing everybody at the ballpark tomorrow, and you can RSVP by calling the Dash at 336-714-2287, and we'll see you here tomorrow.
All right.
Thanks, CJ. At this time, we will open it up to questions if the media has any. Okay. The question was what time the bridge is, and you're talking about Cherry and Marshall Street. Larry? Yeah.
Thank you everybody for coming. There's really no sequence for opening the bridges today. They're going to open between the hours of 9 and 4. As they become available, they will be opened at that time. Today, correct. As the work is completed on each bridge, that bridge will open independently of the others.
And what is your name and title, sir?
I'm Larry Shaver. I'm the resident engineer for the project.
And how do you spell your last name?
SHAVER.
What were the factors that contributed to the project finishing ahead of schedule?
Well, the hard work and the long hours from our contractor, our inspectors, that's the primary thing from the get-go. I mean, these guys were out here. They worked when it snowed. They worked when it rained. They worked when it was 100 degrees. I mean, a lot of times we have contractors that'll pull back, but these guys were full force from the get-go. So that really helped with the schedule and to keep things moving through the life of the project.
How much extra money did they earn for finishing ahead of schedule like this?
We haven't determined that yet because the roadway's not open yet.
Is there a specific time that the road will open on Sunday?
It really depends. The opening of the roadway is really going to depend on this rain event that's coming today. The last things that we have to do, one of those includes the striping of the road. And just like if you were painting your house at home, you wouldn't do it if the house is wet. So we can't paint the lines if the road's wet. So it's really going to depend on what happens today as to whether we open it Saturday night into Sunday morning or Sunday night into Monday morning. The goal right now is Saturday night into Sunday morning. Correct.
Say Saturday night. Did that mean before midnight? Saturday night?
If things go well, it could be around midnight when either the eastbound or the westbound side is open, and then we'll switch to the other side, start removing barrels to open that side.
Any chance after the 2 p.m. event on Saturday is over, they'll open it right up then?
Probably not. I wouldn't bank on that.
And this is a huge project that you all completed. How does it feel now that it's almost done?
We're all going home to get some sleep. That's what we're going to do. So we're very excited for the community, and not just for Winston-Salem, but all the outlying areas. There's a lot of people that come through here during the day, and they've all had to pick a different route to go down, and they all heeded our warning of pick an alternate route and then find another one. We've got our peaks in the morning and the afternoon for traffic congestion, but overall it's been a successful project, and we love it.
You talked about the hard work that the crews have done. At what point did you know you were going to be finishing early, and did you ever have any times where you thought maybe you wouldn't be finishing early?
Well, when the completion date of a project comes in at the wintertime, it always gets sketchy because you don't know. In North Carolina, 1 week may be 60 degrees, and the next week you may have 8 inches of snow. So we could see that things were getting complete, but as far as getting a select date on that, we really didn't know until here recently.
Larry, I just want to thank you for all your hard work.
Thank you.
It really
Thank you. Well, and like I said, it's not Larry. It's all these guys behind me that are still working. It's all you guys standing in the crowd, because everybody from the media to the city councilman, the public, everybody was on this team, and we just thank you for doing your part.
Very good. Greta does have some information that she'll provide to each of you all before you leave, okay? Any other questions? Thank you all. A great day for Winston-Salem.
I have hard copies of the press release here, and you are also receiving a email